Hello and welcome back to the Kerbal Space Program walkthrough for 1.0. My name's Negative Root and let's get cracking. Today we're going to be landing on Duna. Now, I'll just bring this up because this is a cool little mod that I've picked up. So this is the mission that we're going to do. So land on Duna is obviously the big one. If I just expand this and make sure it's the big size. Basically what we need to do is we need to go land on Duna. This is the next thing that we need to achieve. This is worth 500,000 funds, so this is going to be quite lucrative. Now we also need to get some science data from the surface of the moon, so I've packed some thermometers because I want to get that while I'm there, because this will be very profitable. So let's go to Duna. This should be familiar by now. I've waited for the next launch window. You can go away. And basically this is going to be a very drawn out kind of series, because we're into like year 6 now, because I've waited to the next launch window, you know, being patient and all of that. And yeah, basically it's we've got a really nice transfer here. I've hit the nail on the head with a really good one, which is unlike me, but yep, there it is. So we'll make the transfer. I've lined it up like always, dropped the maneuver down, line this up with our exit vector, made sure that was all hunky-dory, and I'll make a mid-course correction somewhere around here to get that periapsis down. So let's get into it. Okay, need to walk forward a couple of minutes. We'll get it down to 1:35, I think that's what we need. Alright, let's burn. Now the Delta V that we're not going to need here isn't terribly much, because Duna has an atmosphere. So if you come with a light enough lander, you're not going to need terribly much in the way of kind of fuel. So you'll be able to do things mostly with parachutes. I've just modified our Duna shot craft, slapped some landing legs on it, and what else did I do? The parachute was there, and also the thermometers. I'll put the thermometers on there. So we've got everything we really need, and this I've got the rocket up in orbit with about 4,000 Delta V, which is a huge amount of overkill. I'm thinking that you'd only really need to be in orbit with maybe 2,000, because what we're going to do is we're going to aerobrake at Duna as well. Just get this burn a little bit further, and we should intersect. Oh, there it is. That's all we'll do actually. Let's just see what it looks like. Oh, yeah, okay. Let's do a mid-course correction, because that's going to be the easiest way of doing things. So we'll jump around here, we'll warp here in 267 days, and we'll get this done. By now, we should be getting pretty familiar with going to Duna. It's pretty easy and pretty straightforward. The Delta V required isn't much more than a moon. It's just you got to get the right. You got to wait and transfer at the right time. And there are tricks to get to different places as well. Duna is just easy. Eve is easy as well. You know, it's not much more. I think it's about 1,200 or 1,500 Delta V. So as long as you launch at the right time, you'll be fine. It works out okay. So we've still got 60 days to go. We'll, what we need to do here is just having a quick look at the orbit, right? Here's the escape. So what we're going to need to do is move this down and over so that we're in here somewhere on this side of the planet, so that we enter in this kind of direction. So the time warp is complete, excellent. what we'll do is we'll add a maneuver, okay, and we'll get this in the right spot. Get it down around the planet. You can see that when you make a nice transfer, it really costs you nothing to fix it. $146, whoops, too far. 70. I'm happy with that. What we'll be able to do is capture in and then come around and land somewhere on the light side of the planet. So let's get orientated correctly for the burn. Okay. We'll walk to the maneuver node because we'll just burn in this direction, okay? What we'll do is we'll set this up so that we can control our burn really nicely. We'll turn the thrust limiter on, 5.5% out of 100. And this will mean that we can just really nicely control where we come. And what our orbit ends up being. See, we're a little bit off. We're fairly polar. So we'll just see if we can correct that. I wonder if we've gone too far. We have. So we need to go the other way. Now obviously our orbit is going to end up a little bit cockeyed because we're not doing this at the DN. Okay. That actually shouldn't be too bad, all things considered. So what I need to do is just shift it out of the atmosphere and get up a good aero braking node. Oh, that's the wrong way. We need to go the other way. Because even though we've got the fuel, we want to basically save as much as we can. Oh, that's too far. Whatever. Let's warp to here. Because I'll fix it when we get closer. There we go. Done. Now hopefully we're not too close to be able to affect our orbit big time. No, we're okay. Okay. So we want to get this down to, I don't know, say 30, 25 kilometers, I think. Because Duna's atmosphere is very, very thin. It's also not very tall. Hello, Ike. So we'll go for 25. And that'll be fine. So let's warp to here. And now our job is to get this thing on the ground. It shouldn't be terribly hard. Because, you know, I've used 1100 delta V to here. And I'm actually keen to see what it takes me to get this thing on the ground. So there's Duna, the big red planet. And we need to be careful of overheating. And you may need to pack, you know, like a heat shield. And the way you would actually overcome that is instead of using a top-mounted parachute, so we're going to deploy that at much higher altitude. That's important to do because obviously thinner, you won't slow down as much. So 1850, we'll go with that. So instead of doing that, right, you go with some radial mounted ones mounted on the probe, and then on the top you just attach a heat shield, and then you plow it in nose first. That'll work. Let's go. Let's get into the atmosphere. Now I'm planning to do a bit of a retro burn while I'm going. Okay, so we are going to hit the atmosphere. That's excellent. That's exactly what we're after. we just want to stay on the retrograde marker. Not yet into the atmosphere though. So we are probably going to have to do a little bit of a braking burn. And you can see that our orbit is relatively slow. To be so close to the planet, this means that returning to orbit from Duna's surface is very, very easy. Now you can see we're getting an effect now, so that's excellent. Okay, we're going to be at periapsis shortly. So what we'll do is we'll burn to capture. Actually, we've got fuel to spare, so we will burn straight to a landing. And how good is that for a photo? It's all about the screenshots, yo. Oh, there was periapsis. Let's go. Remember to turn your engine up too, otherwise you're going to go nowhere fast. Okay, that's going to flip shortly. There it is, we're no longer in orbit. Okay. Just shorten this up a bit. So I have the fuel to burn, so I will burn it. So I've used 2000 delta V to this point, and we'll see how we go with the landing. Now this should be a pretty slow interface. Because I have bled a lot of speed off, so that's great news. Let's see how we go. Now something to be aware of. As you get lower in the atmosphere, the LV909 is going to get less effective. Okay, that's important. So at 8,000 meters already, and there's been nothing. No effects, no heating, no shock waves, no nothing. That's interesting. I don't think there's going to be either. Look at our speed, it's very, very low. So I'm going to deploy the parachute and hope for the best. And I'm going to turn off the SAS. Because what the parachute will do is it'll keep us nicely on the retrograde marker. I'm going to deploy the gear so that we're ready to land. Now this is quite tall, this thing, so it may fall over. What I'm going to do is I'm going to log the temperature. I'm going to keep that for the moment. Oh, there it goes. So you can see how it's dropping our speed down. Actually, that's really well done. That's turned into an excellent landing. So we've still got roughly 17 meters per second that we're going to have to scrub off before we hit the ground. But that's not insurmountable. So this is the Duna Highlands. This is going to be interesting. So 17 meters per second. So let's just test the engine and see what kind of effect they have. Okay, so we're going to need a fair bit of thrust, because these are good for about I think they're good for about, I think it's 7 meters per second landing speed. So we're at 100. And a pro tip, watch your shadow. Okay, we'll just keep this under 7. As we have the fuel to burn, so we'll burn it. No. That's not good. That's not the way the parachute should be. And there we go. We have landed on Duna. It's a thing. It's done. We've done it. We have made it. And our space program is officially hardcore. So what we'll do, right, is we'll review the data and we'll transmit it back. We'll review this data, transmit it back as well. So there we go, that's the 2 contracts done. Science data from the surface of Duna, 174,000, 6 science, excellent, and 500,000. Any crash you can walk away from counts as a landing. So there we go, thank you very much for joining me. I look forward to seeing the next episode where we continue this walkthrough. I'm looking forward to it. Hopefully we get to go to Eve.